welcome everyone to the latest of the Xbox showcases. But yeah, Minecraft.
Yeah, so we're starting this Xbox slash Bethesda direct stream with something for an IP that they let go out everywhere.
So anyway, it seems that we've got 5 big games to look forward to today.
First off is Minecraft, which again, that's one of the more profitable franchises because they own Mojang Studios, so fine, go on.
Minecraft may not be of my personal interest, but hey, I know it has a huge audience, so this could be a good opener.
And it will also feature a PvP gameplay mode where 2 teams with up to 4
Well,
players each.
Bobby, let's hope Microsoft aren't too busy serving some pwners incorrectly.
Hold on, let's try to focus on this. Not go too far on the
experience. We've partnered with Blackbird Interactive to develop the game. And it's been wonderful to see their commitment and focus on the Minecraft universe.
It's so much fun to be working with Mojang Studios on Minecraft Legends.
Here at Blackbird Interactive, we have a talented team of developers who are using our background in strategy games to bring a new and exciting experience to the Minecraft universe.
We're super excited
new and
to share more
exciting,
details
you
about the
say?
gameplay.
I swear, every IP,
go on.
every IP has to have a game called Legends in it.
Yep.
I guess the word Legends just really sells the venture, doesn't it?
Individual players aren't able to win on their own. You must cooperate to be successful.
New and exciting, huh? All right.
Co-op.
All right. What exactly do you have in mind?
Gel together because they naturally form roles at the beginning of the game, and as soon as we start, you're off collecting, I start building. We have our favorite roles, but we change them up.
I'm not the biggest Minecraft fan, so I don't know how new this is for the franchise.
I can tell. It seems like
Every time you play,
it's a simpler, it's a simpler, more build-focused Minecraft dungeons. I think that's what it looks like, based on my untrained eye.
Ever-present threat, and this includes PvP.
The piglins are on their own side. They're trying to kill both of you at the same time.
So the opposing team is not the only thing you need to worry about.
Okay, so there's also PvP gameplay.
In PvP, there's something for everyone.
Please, Microsoft, don't have your developers try to make jokes. Like, it very rarely
Players who
works.
enjoy exploration, they can search the world to find resources for their team, hidden treasure chests, or scout the enemy base.
Gathering resources to help the team out.
I mean, this looks fine for what it is. It's just not my thing.
Whenever I get into a PvP match, the first
Like,
thing
if the Minecraft fan base is really hyped with this,
it's my
good
favorite
on
launch
them.
ride because it's really fast,
Sure.
but it's also really cute. For players who like building,
Again, granted, I'm not a Minecraft fan, so for all I know, this could be incredibly banal by Minecraft standards.
I
noticed that in the intro, they had like a list of 5 studios that are going to be showing off games during this. I noticed Rare wasn't one of them. So was that thing they released earlier on Nintendo and Xbox it from them?
Okay.
It's GoldenEye, don't get me wrong, but
I just realized something.
In this stream.
Yes, Pedro?
I just realized something. This is Xbox Developer Direct. That's because only the developers are going to show up on screen, whereas all the Microsoft executives, even Phil, are not going to show up whatsoever because, well, yeah, obviously not a lot of people want to see them in front of them right now.
Once those walls are up, I like to actually hide my ice traps behind them too.
Well, I mean, they're too busy yelling at the FTC.
No, don't you see, Libs? Don't you see, Libs? We're just seeing the developers themselves. You can't hate on the developers. The developers are not to blame. See, if we hide, you can't. If we hide from your side, you can't throw any shit at us.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, basically.
The fun of PvP is creating a strategy, having a game plan, deciding how you think you're going to crush the enemy, and then all of a sudden the hosts tell you,
The opposing team just built a redstone launcher.
and you're like, I can't do my attack now.
So, if I understand correctly, the new thing of this Minecraft game is that now it's an action RPG, as opposed to being the typical sandbox.
Action RPG. The difference is it has a focus on building stuff. Sure.
So
It's kind of like a more elaborate Dark Cloud. Sure.
I was going to say Considering it's Microsoft, I was going to say Banjo-Kazooie, not some bots.
so they're very weak.
Isn't that about building things?
Well, Nuts and Bolts is not an action RPG, but I get your point.
With such a simple strategy.
And that's why we still love playing it every day, because every game is different. You never know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Broad, sweeping visuals.
So is it going to be like 10 minutes for each of these presentations?
Do we know how long this
Probably.
show is supposed to be?
Around 40 minutes.
Huh, well, if there's 5 projects, then wouldn't it be more like 8 minutes per one?
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Minecraft Legends coming April 18, 2023. Okay.
It looks good, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, not something I'd get even on Game Pass, but
Unite the overworld.
Alright, so that's
Alright.
Mojang. Next studio is Turn 10, so Forza Motorsport.
I guess to give him some credit, I do like the presentation of this developer direct so far. That's neat.
Oh, sure. They're basically doing the, okay, here's the next game, here's the next game, here's the next, which again is fine.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Sasaki, and welcome to Turn 10 Studios.
Okay.
Again, I'm sure Forza Motorsport is gonna be fine. It's just that to me, it's just one of those things where it's just like there's only so much you can do for a racing game.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt this Forza is gonna be fine. They so far don't seem to have massively screwed up Forza, to my knowledge.
No. Forza's, I mean, it's not that there's much to screw up. It's just a racing game.
Is Forza Motorsport.
Yet somehow Sony found a way with Gran Turismo 7, so I'm hoping Microsoft don't do the same with a Forza game, because Forza's like one of the last things that Microsoft has that's consistently good. Lord knows it's not like they have a flagship franchise to sell their console on. Being a Halo fan is suffering.
And yes,
So,
Free
yeah,
for
Car-
Free Industries is in a way is completely absent from this direct for obvious reasons.
Although apparently they insist that they're still alive. You know, they're not tabling that studio.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool that the studio head came out to say that, oh, actually, we're still going to be making single-player content. But here's the thing, Peter. Your single-player content has been consistently bad over the years, so that still doesn't exactly inspire much confidence still.
Yes, ray tracing. How many times have we heard ray tracing mentioned with a Forza thing now?
Well, remember, considering this is supposed to be a racing simulator, as in, like, well, not simulator, but, like, it's trying to be a more realistic racing game. Obviously, the attempt is to try to actually, you know, look as realistic as possible.
Of course. It's just that they've always talked up their ray tracing with Forza, at least ever since they started using ray tracing. It's not even really a bad point to mention on, it's more of a meme thing.
Tell the story of the work you put into a race and reflects the marks and battle scars of motorsport.
The story you put into a race. Yes, craft your own story with the battle scars of your car.
Mixed natively for immersive audio formats like Windows Sonic and Dolby Atmos.
Did someone say immersion?
Each audio system has been rebuilt from the ground up to deliver a new
Actually, David Cage making a racing game. How would he find a way to pretentious it up?
No, remember, racing games are not emotional enough for him, so...
No, but let's imagine he had to make a racing game. How do you think he would somehow try to put the immersion and emotion into it?
I guess constant scenes of the racers moping about how their life is miserable?
Probably.
New features like our regional track announcer system and improved
But yeah,
audio bring a new level of
I will admit, again, Forza's good. It's just that it kind of has a bit of that sports game thing where unless you're offering like a huge change or shift in the gameplay, a lot of this feels like we more or less kind of know what we're getting. Again, it's not a fault against the devs, it's just, well, you know.
Yeah, the thing with these games is that there's only so many games of these. There's only so many of these games we can play before we get to a point where it's just like once you've played one of these, you've kind of played them all. So since they don't really have any major changes from entry to entry, it's just like Jova said, it's kind of like sports games. It's just like you're just getting the same basic iterations over and over and over.
See, now there used to be a day where, you know, racing and sports games had these crazy wild offshoots or modes that would really mix things up and would warrant definitely talking about here and there, but now sadly that has more or less been abandoned.
Tracks look alive.
From what I've heard before this started, we're not gonna get anything from Fable. We're not gonna get anything from Everwild. We're not gonna get anything from.
Oh right, Everwild's still a thing.
And Obsidian's new game Avowed, we're also apparently not gonna get anything from that. So this is just based on games that we already knew are coming,
Wait,
or
so
at the very least that we actually have seen before.
Are we certain Everwild's still gonna be a thing?
I mean, that's the thing, Joe. I don't know.
Have Rare finally figured out what it's going to be?
I don't know, Joe, but they don't say anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I said earlier. The rare thing we got isn't even from this conference.
Oh yeah, GoldenEye. Probably the best Microsoft announcement we got, and it was told by Nintendo today.
Because it's a partnership between the Nintendo and Microsoft, and Nintendo is I'm guessing Nintendo probably got the dibs on the marketing, probably.
Yeah, but Microsoft are also advertising it for their systems too.
I suppose, to be fair, they figured that it wasn't worth getting a big spotlight at this show today.
I guess.
Forza Motorsport is truly a generational leap ahead, with unmatched visual fidelity and authenticity.
Basically, my thoughts are, yep, that sure looks like the new Forza game.
Motorsport is back, and it's our most comprehensive game ever, with over 500 cars.
It's our most comprehensive game ever, and then later when they make the next Forza Motorsport, they'll say this is our best yet, and she's like there's only so many times you can go through this cycle before it gets old.
All new car building focused single player career.
Oh boy.
We cannot wait for you to get your hands on this incredible game.
Give this guy credit. He seems like he's genuinely enthusiastic about the game, at least.
I guess you kind of have to be to sell it.
Forza Motorsport and no
Wait,
number?
no number? Hello?
It's the reboot.
Joba. It's Microsoft. They can't count. So Forza Motorsport, we're following Forza Motorsport 6 with Forza Motorsport
1?
Just Forza Motorsport, apparently. Oh yeah, here, I think this is the game that leaked. Yeah, there you go.
Tango Gameworks.
Okay, this looks interesting.
And you're probably wondering how I ended up here.
Never heard that opening before.
This was sound familiar. Is that Josh Keaton?
I was thinking that too.
It's making everything sync up with the beats. Let's rock.
Wait, so he's a Teletubby, but he can only broadcast music from his chest, not TV from his stomach.
If I wouldn't know better, I'd say it seems to be a music-based action game.
The name's Chai, not Defect. Is this the guy?
We'll take down this company, one boss at a time.
Is this Microsoft's answer to No Straight Roads?
I guess. I mean, I know this is a Bethesda game. I know that.
Oh, really? This is a Bethesda game?
Tango Gameworks.
The game leaked beforehand.
Ah,
and they said about how...
yeah, that's Bethesda, true.
From the makers of The Evil Within, seriously.
Hi-Fi Rush.
2, naturally.
So, but yeah, it has that Sunset Overdrive energy.
You know, I'll admit, that does look interesting. Okay.
Sure,
Oh, Shinji Mikami?
Shinji Mikami? Oh, so you're the head of this studio. I wasn't aware of that.
Okay, now you've got my attention. No, I mean, I really do mean it. This game actually looks interesting. We do get an idea of what the gameplay is like, so thankfully we don't just have this.
I mean, it's certainly quite a shift from stuff like The Evil Within and even Ghostwire Tokyo.
I know, right? Granted, Shinji Mikami has worked on Ace Attorney before.
If this game hasn't already leaked.
Okay, they're good sports about it.
So we've been waiting for this for a long time. So let's jump in and explain exactly what Hi-Fi Rush is.
I'll give Microsoft credit. They seem to be doing better collaborating with Japanese devs than they did back in their earlier days.
Well, ever.
Sure.
Here, your moves and attacks help create a living sound.
Ow.
Let's just hope Shinji Mikami gets to keep his job.
The more you flow with the beat, the better you can connect your attacks and abilities.
Shinji Mikami, wasn't he known for like some Capcom?
Resident Evil.
Yeah.
And the Super Nintendo Aladdin game that we did.
And again, he did also do work on Ace Attorney as well before he left Capcom.
Yep. He was one of the producers, if I remember correctly.
It's like how Akira Hino got his start in like horror games before he did the likes of Professor Layton.
Heck, Shu Takumi got his start with Dino Crisis.
Yeah.
Moves the world around you, and it's the key to combat.
Well, I remember there was the whole reason why he left River Hill Soft was because he didn't like making those games.
Yeah, no, you're right. This definitely has Sunset Overdrive energy.
Yeah, it's just we can't work with Insomniac anymore, so...
Yeah. Again, this the overall tone and energy of this game is very Sunset Overdrive-ish, but since you know Microsoft, you could have greenlit Sunset Overdrive 2 while you had a chance. Just saying.
Well, now it's too late, so we're getting this instead.
Anyone see the guy that did this?
Yeah, that's Josh Keaton.
Get a load of this guy.
It really does sound like him.
Oh, whoa.
I do like how the music syncs with the attacks.
You're never restrained by the music. You can jump,
Yeah, this actually looks pretty cool, I will admit.
whenever you want, using whatever attacks you want. It's not about mashing buttons.
So the coolest looking game so far is one that's completely out of Tango Gameworks' usual wheelhouse.
Sometimes it does help to mix things up.
Like if Shutakumi made a platformer.
Ah, God, I'm trying to remember if he ever has worked on one. Again, he has done Dino Crisis.
Yeah, before he made his attorney, he was making Dino Crisis, so it's not like he can't make action games.
Cutscenes, dangerous obstacles, you name it. It all syncs to the music, creating an ongoing jam session.
Yeah, no, this game looks like it'll be fun.
To help out is 808,
Sure.
your robot cat companion who literally hovers over your shoulder and helps you find.
Oh boy, a robot cat companion. Now we know Shuro's gonna love this.
Seeing its how shit it look, I'll probably be able to run it on my PC just fine, so...
And yeah, it'll probably come to PC, because Microsoft.
Chai also gets
I might get on Game Pass.
Literally.
Get up, slacker. We've got work to do.
Oh my god, they were totally referencing Cyberpunk with that.
Out of combat. There's Peppermint breaking barriers and juggling enemies, along with Macaron smashing enemy armor and knocking back enemies. Tag teaming with Chai's partners and attacks opens up huge possibilities for dynamic combos and over-the-top action.
Speaking of Cyberpunk, Jova, did you see how Sony removed Skull and Bones from their PlayStation Store and they refunded everybody who pre-ordered the game?
Yep, like it sounds like even some of the console owners are starting to doubt if Skull and Bones is ever gonna be a real thing.
And Sony even decided, you know what, this is starting to seem like a scam, let's just refund everybody.
Like, want to avoid any potential lawsuits, especially after that last business we had.
Each level
I
with
was
a
more on
new
CD
musical spin on
Projekt
the
Red
rock
than
track.
anything else.
And then
Well,
We're
okay.
talking about Skull and Bones specifically, but yeah, Cyberpunk was also that. But Cyberpunk was more so the fact that they weren't honest about what they were showing footage-wise. They only showed the PC version. They didn't show how any of the console versions ran. So.
custom choreographed to licensed music from
Oh,
amazing
that's.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. They're really
Alright,
going out with the music
Nine
on
Inch
this.
Nails.
We think it's like nothing you've
9
ever
Inch
played
Nails is the only one I recognise out of the group, and I don't think I've even heard any of their music.
All you need to know is that all those names you saw are big news in the music industry. Well, they are or were at some point. Basically, all of them are big names.
Sure.
Pretty rock star move, Chai.
I would be so shocked if that's not just King voicing that. Boy.
Yeah, same. Like it just sounds. It's exactly like John Keaton.
Even Mikami knows.
You're very funny, Mikami-san.
Yes, you can pet the cat!
Of course you can.
Oh?
Oh, we have another game? What is it?
Another surprise?
Super psyched for you to play this. We're happy to tell you that you can play Hi-Fi Rush tonight.
What?
Demo, the full
Whoa.
game. Seriously.
Did they just shadow drop it?
2 hours after the show.
Apparently.
It'll be on Game Pass as well.
We hope you enjoy.
Oh, it's out now.
Wait, what?
Okay. That was a heavy move to make, but I might have to check this out.
You looking for me?
Sure. Same. I actually do have a free month of PC Game Pass that I can redeem if I want, so I can easily get it.
The game came out yesterday. Well, hey, now you guys can find out for yourselves whether Josh Keaton's the voice in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the visuals are fantastic.
Huh.
See, this is how I want cartoon games to look like fully embrace cel shaded visuals to really make it look like an animated film.
Okay, so the best looking game in this whole show just got shadow dropped to be release playable today.
Kudos, Mikami-san.
And
oh, Zenimax.
Alright.
Okay, okay, Todd, what do you have for us today?
You know...
Oh, is this Elder Scrolls?
Zed, is that what you grade his games?
I'm just gonna say, like, I get the feeling that Hi-Fi Rush is gonna be what ends up carrying this show.
Welcome to
Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, what a shock, Todd selling us Elder Scrolls again.
You just saw a cinematic teaser for the Elder Scrolls Online's
Oh,
next
I
chapter.
forgot. Remember, Dova, this is a developer direct, so no executives in this direct, just developers.
Okay.
Isn't Shinji Mikami kind of an executive?
Yeah, but people actually like Shinji Mikami, so...
Okay. We're not having any executives you don't like.
Okay, again.
It's only our third new class.
Please tell me you have more than just a cinematic teaser to show us, Cinemax, because,
It's Bethesda.
You know, again, I get the feeling Hi-Fi Rush is going to be what really ends up carrying this show if things don't end on a high note.
Since 1994, where you will meet new characters and enemies, reunite with some old friends.
Yes, meet new characters and enemies. Okay, I guess there's some footage. Oh wait, or is that actual in-game footage or just cinematic stuff?
Remember, each of these games gets a good, like, 5 to 10 minute look, so let's actually wait and see what they show.
Chapters are essentially standalone games in ESO that let you adventure in a new
Right now he's just
area.
explaining. He's probably going to show
You don't
footage
have to
after.
wait for the Necrom chapter to jump in. We've got so many amazing experiences you can enjoy right now. If you love games like Skyrim and Oblivion, you'll feel right at home amongst the thousands of stories unfolding across every region.
Is this subscription?
So play our past games to get hyped for this game.
So you have Game Pass, so it'll be free with no additional cost on Game Pass, most likely.
We've got an entire province that's overrun by dragons. Or questioned if you are capable of taking down a frost troll in Skyrim? Try it for yourself in ESO. What about the moment you visited a city in Morrowind?
Basically, if you're into Elder Scrolls, here's your next game, I guess.
For the Oblivion fans out there, how about another chance at taking on the colossal...
Okay, so is this supposed to be some kind of, you know, like big celebration of the entire franchise? They're showing all these references to previous Elder Scrolls games.
I don't know.
So is Patrick Stewart going to be in the game?
Wait, Patrick Stewart was in Elder Scrolls at some point?
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls was really that big game that really shot for the stars back in the day.
Alright.
And when you're ready, you can easily engage.
It looks fine, but I'm not usually into first-person RPGs.
With your friends for great loot, or just join a guild to chat with others.
Boy, this sure looks like a Skyrim game.
New players will immediately feel right at home because our community is one of the most.
Sure, it'll play fine. It's just not my thing.
Welcoming on the planet. We invite everyone
Dark Heart of Skyrim
ESO to give it a try and create your own story.
That sounds like a Dark Heart of Skyrim. That sounds like a Kotaku piece that they'd write discussing how bad it is or something.
Or with friends. Explore nearly.
Oh, there you go. That answers my question. There's no subscription needed, so
there you go.
Well, there is. Well, in your case, there is this. It's called Game Pass.
Well, okay. No subscription just for this game. That's what I mean.
Purpose-built next-gen version for the Xbox Series X and S.
Yeah, you see, guys, we don't need Final Fantasy XIV. We've got this.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure this game will be fine, but I seriously doubt it's going to make Final Fantasy XIV have to run for its money. To be honest with you.
Explore for any player, so everyone can test drive all of our
play previous chapters and over 20 DLCs for free.
For a limited time.
Oh, so basically this is like the entirety of Elder Scrolls Online in one package, from what I can tell.
Interesting.
Sure, I guess that's fine.
And I'm immensely proud.
So basically, if you're a fan of Elder Scrolls Online, here's your big game.
More to share, and I can't wait for the team to show it all to you. Join us after this show for the 2023 ESO Global Reveal, where we'll go deep into all things Necron.
So basically, this segment is a preview for the actual preview.
So Bethesda's gonna have their own showcase at a later point. Sure.
Could have been worse,
all right,
I guess.
Next.
And
next
now...
is Arcane Austin. I don't know who they are. Who are they? It's Redfall. Okay.
Right, the vampire game.
Yeah, since Starfield was delayed, we'll just have this as our big Bethesda game.
It's too late. But there are people who can fight back. Stick together.
So what's this now then?
First-person shooter involving vampires.
Yeah, it's Redfall, one of Bethesda's big releases for this year.
Massachusetts, where the calm seas and sunny skies have been eclipsed by a legion of vampires.
In Massachusetts.
Redfall is a story-driven shooter.
Again, I said this game the same thing I've been saying on the previous times we've seen this game and commented on showings. It looks perfectly fine. It's just that, you know, like these I'm not seeing anything that I haven't seen in other games where you shoot vampires.
At Arcane, we make games where the world itself is as important as the characters.
I'm not gonna lie, this art style reminds me of Life is Strange.
Building a lovingly detailed open world to deliver our largest setting ever.
Well, it's interesting because Dontnod actually have their own vampire franchise called Vampire. So.
Explore the streets of a quaint island town, from the once bustling downtown to the.
I'm just surprised Microsoft didn't try to buy Dontnod, considering they had that game they made with them. Tell me why.
You know, this place even looks like Arcadia Bay after the destruction of the storm.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Here we're at the fire station, one of your home bases. This is one place you'll receive missions from survivors.
I'm looking forward for us to finally tear a new one into Life is Strange 2 because that game fucking sucks.
I've heard the horror stories.
Turn it back on. It's a warning to anyone trying to
But
easy, right?
So, Edward, here's a question for you. Are you aware that racism is bad?
The damn lamp with him.
Naturally.
Yeah, so there you go, Dubs. In that case, you don't need to play Life is Strange 2, because that's literally all that game has to say. Literally all that game has to say.
And from what I've
Unlike
heard, it doesn't
Zootopia-
even say it well.
That's the thing, Joe. But like, unlike Zootopia, which is a movie that actually reflects on why people think that, why racists think the way they do, why it's wrong that they think the way they do. No, the game doesn't do that. It just says racist, violent morons acting violently racist, and that's it. That's all it does.
Jump scare.
It's racism as
Wow.
told by a 10-year-old.
Well, hey, I mean, at least it's not the last game in the series or anything like that.
Oh no. The True Colors is fine.
Thank
It has
goodness.
its own
Although
issues.
Dwibs,
It has its own issues. But sorry. Go on.
although Dwibs, it was the last game made by the developers who, you know, created the franchise, so in a way you could see it as an end.
Mm-hmm. Although to be fair to Don't Nod, after that they may Tell Me Why, which is much better.
I get the feeling that, didn't you tell me that they, yeah, there we go, jump scare. Didn't you tell me that, like, they ousted the people in charge of Life is Strange 2 after that game or something?
I mean, I was thinking that because I wasn't seeing anything for them, but recently, Michel Koch, the creative director of the first of Life is Strange 1 and 2, recently tweeted about the future of Don't Nod. So he is still at Don't Nod. He's still an executive over there. It's just that he hasn't been making games since Life is Strange 2.
So in that case, maybe it was just a case that they really took a look in the mirror after Life is Strange 2 kind of, well, crashed and burned the way it did, and decided to improve.
Sure. Well, if Michel Carr is only going to act as an executive from this point on at the studio, so that's fine. Like, because hopefully he's a better producer than he is a director.
So basically, it's a case of being kicked upstairs.
Yeah, basically.
We'll keep him on board, but we'll promote him to a position where he can't do as much damage.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, this game looks fine. It's just that I've seen a ton of games like this. Like I've seen.
Okay, I swear, these guys have only ever listed Blade as their favorite vampire hunter.
You could see the Blade influence.
Like, there's nothing inherently wrong here. It's just that there's nothing particularly noteworthy or interesting in it. It's just a first-person shooter where you shoot vampires, and that's basically it. I'm not really seeing anything particularly interesting or new that hasn't been done in this kind of game before.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get it. Like I said, the art style is really reminding me of Life is Strange. Jump scare.
If you're into FPSs with supernatural enemies, this should do it for you. But yeah, not particularly something I'm interested in.
It's that kind of game
sure
where
fine.
Yeah, like, it's not like it's doing anything egregiously bad or anything, but it really is not doing anything particularly remarkable.
It's a game that exists.
Yes.
It's a game that exists. You can play it, especially if you have Game Pass. It will be there for you to play it, so have at it.
Go for it.
Imagine if they try to announce that Redfall is also coming out tonight just to build up the hype.
Yeah. Actually, Potter, it came out yesterday and we didn't tell you.
Like, okay. Regardless of whether or not this is our thing, let's take into consideration that I'm pretty sure this was the first time we ever saw Hi-Fi Rush. And that game already looks interesting here and there. Like, and I'd argue,
much more interesting and
like, okay, and even if it's not your thing, I'd argue Hi-Fi Rush has much more of an identity, at least. Like,
yeah, it does. It's definitely doing something that is definitely uncommon. It's a shame Starfield was delayed because I'm far more interested in that game than this one, to be honest with you.
I guess kudos on them for delaying instead of doing, you know, the Bethesda thing. Well, the Bethesda thing that used to be that before they have supposedly changed.
Oh, sure. I'm cool with the game being delayed. I'm I'm just saying, okay, are you honestly telling me that you don't have anything to show from that game?
That is one thing I'm wondering too. Like, delays I get, but you didn't have any footage to show? That's usually a sign that stuff's getting heavily restructured at this stage of the game.
Yeah, because the game is coming out supposedly this summer. It's not that far away.
Yeah,
they should have something to show.
Like, but dudes, it might be wise to just say, okay, the game may not see that release date at this point, because that's a bit of a warning sign.
It reminds me of how they didn't show anything from the Gears 5 campaign until August, 2 months before the game released. Like, that kind of thing usually is not a good sign.
So, I'm just gonna say here, while this game may look nice and all, I'm gonna say that Hi-Fi Rush would have been the better finale, honestly.
No, definitely. The Hi-Fi Rush so far stands way above everything else, definitely, for me.
Honestly, I almost have a hard time believing that it's a Microsoft game.
Not that there's anything wrong with the other games, it's just that Hi-Fi Rush just looks so superior and so much more interesting that it really steals the show.
Let me put it like this. Hi-Fi Rush feels like a game that would be one of many great games we see during something like a Nintendo Direct or even a Sony State of Play. And here, it is the main force carrying this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's not inherently a bad thing, but I think it is a sign of how, again, Microsoft are lacking in, like, a lot of that player punch power, essentially, with having this amazing stuff. And again, that is not to say that these won't sell, because, yeah, you know, they'll probably be fine. It's just not particularly amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hit on the arsenal. There's a wide range.
That's the primary thing about they make. It's not that they don't have good games. It's just that they don't. There's not a single game on them that is on the level of a God of War Ragnarok or a Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You know, there's not. They don't have really that one of those games that really like this. Holy shit! I have to play this shit.
What about Pepsi Emblem?
Pepsi what? Sorry.
Pepsi Emblem.
Pepsi Emblem.
I'm calling Fire Emblem Engage because have you seen the character designs?
Oh, that, yeah.
Pepsi Cola Emblem, I should say, because they look like they're advertising for both.
Yeah.
Okay.
But apparently their hair turns... Hey, Pedro. Their hair turns either more red or more blue based off of a certain actions you take that take them up a hero or villain path. Sound familiar?
Yeah. I thought there weren't any branching pathways in that game.
The point is that apparently with Fire Emblem Engage there's a morality system. It's essentially Fire Emblem meets Shadow the Hedgehog from what I've heard. Unless that stuff isn't true, but that is what I've heard. How far are you in the game, Dwibs?
I've only beaten the Paralog so far.
And of course our signature storytelling and rich world building.
Along with our spin on one of the most classic monsters of all time.
Vampires.
It's been amazing to see how all of us have pulled together to deliver our vision for something new.
Redfall is the biggest, most ambitious game.
It's cool that you had it into your vision. Something I wouldn't exactly call this something new, though. I did.
Thankfully, you won't have to wait too much longer. Redfall's coming
Oh.
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Okay.
And we'll see you soon.
Sure, have at it, guys. I'll be skipping this one, not because it's bad, but because it's not my thing. And like I said, I'm not seeing anything here that's particularly new.
Bite back. Ha.
Yeah, judging from the text, I thought it was for some reason. Yeah, if that text was the first thing that showed up, I thought it was going to be like a game based off Doctor Sleep or something.
Okay, so here's my main take from this showcase. Boy, I'm looking forward to playing Hi-Fi Rush.
Same.
I mean, I just checked Game Pass is not available yet.
Well, they did say it would be like tonight.
I mean...
Possibly morning round.
An MP4.
The outro
okay,
sizzle, the ending montage.
The outro montage, sure.
Okay, I will say this.
Final thoughts?
Congrats, Microsoft. You managed to not screw up. That being said, Hi-Fi Rush carried the show heavily.
Definitely.
I mean, at least it has one really good thing going on in it.
Which is definitely better than a lot of Xbox showcases have been, sadly.
That and the fact that they kept all the executives away from the camera also
Definitely.
helped because if Matt Booty and Phil Spencer showed up on screen, yeah, they're probably hiding just to make sure people don't hate on them.
Warning.
So, Drebs, final thoughts on this showcase?
Well, Hi-Fi Rush is looking good.
Okay. What about the rest?
And that's my final thoughts on this direct.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, okay, look. I understand that none of these games look bad, and, for the people really into those sorts of games, you'll probably enjoy them and have fun with them. I feel, though, that Hi-Fi Rush is the only game that really would speak to somebody who's not even initially into those kinds of games as being, like, the big standout, essentially.
I mean, hell, aside from that, the only one I'm interested in checking out, GoldenEye. I was going to say, aside from Hi-Fi Rush, the only other thing I'm interested in from Xbox is the the remaster of GoldenEye, and even then that comes with a caveat, because I only really call it Microsoft is because it's made by a Microsoft-owned studio, and it's not even exclusive to them. It's also on the Switch.
Interesting.
And the Switch actually has online multiplayer, whereas for some reason the Xbox version doesn't. I still don't get that.
Yeah.
But hey, at the very least, I could mull over which version of it to record for the channel if we ever do it.
Maybe.
But yeah, that's about it.
Pedro?
Boy, I'm sure looking forward to playing Hi-Fi Rush, and the other games look fine too, but I'm not going to play them. There you go. There's
the
just
same for me.
Damn, so it's only slightly more elongated than mine.
Again, it seems like we're pretty much all in sync. The show was fine, but Hi-Fi Rush carried it.
Yeah, basically.
Alright then, so that was the Xbox Showcase. Could this be a sign that Microsoft are getting better? Was this just a fluke? Will Hi-Fi Rush end up actually being the only good game coming out if these other games turn out to be a mess? Who knows what the future may hold. For now, though, I can at least say that an Xbox Showcase did not make me feel sick, so that's gotta count for something. Well, more sick than I already am currently.
Alright, see you then.
Yep, see ya.
See ya.
And that's it.